Hey there, guys. Tesla released some kind of exciting news today, so I just wanted to make a quick video talking about their announced stock split, how I'm playing it. I was actually already in a call option position, luckily, so I was ahead of this and excited to see how it will impact the trade and potentially improve my returns, talk about what my strategy is when I want to get out of this trade and take my profits and things of that nature. So let's go hop into it. So here we are. This is the trade I'm in. I'm not going to try and hide it and try to use it as bait to keep you to the end of the video or something like that. So if you just want to see what I have here, it's a Tesla $1,200 call for January 20th of 2023. So early next year. 1,200's around all-time highs, maybe a little lower. But it was just getting to the point where I felt that Tesla was due for a little bit of a run-up. And, you know, options in Tesla are so expensive because the share price is so high. I couldn't afford to make this play on, say, a $900 call, because then I'd be looking. I just didn't have the cash in the bank for it on hand, unfortunately, without selling other stocks. So this is what I did. Maybe a little risky. Not saying I advise anyone to do this, but I just enjoy making these trades. This is money where I'm okay if I lose it. I'll still be completely fine with my portfolio. But nevertheless, here we are. As of the taking of this screenshot around 2 p.m. on Monday, we're trading at 205 for one contract. I bought it at 146. So I'm up about $6,000. Not too shabby, really, on a short-term trade. I've held this actually probably a month or two. Definitely didn't time it perfectly. I could have waited longer and got a better price, but that's why I always say macro markets are something nobody can time perfectly. So as long as you have conviction in the underlying company and are willing to ride out the macro markets, you'll do okay in the long run. And I have such high conviction in Tesla that that's what I did. I didn't sell at a loss, even though we were way down, and now we're up again. So good news on that front. Now let's talk about what I'm planning to do here on this trade. I could just get out of it today, take my $6,000 or so and run for the hills. But let's think about this a bit before we get too antsy. If we take a look at this chart here, this is actually Tesla the last time they announced a split. So you can see in the chart here, split 5-1 happened about there in the chart. But which was August, late August. But if you look at when the split was actually announced, that was August 11th. So around here. So they've just announced a new split today, and the stock has run up about 7%, which is a good return, and one of the main reasons why my option trade has performed so well, which, by the way, options, if you're not too familiar with it, you can basically generate additional leverage. So this underlying stock only moved 7% today, yet my options contract moved 30+%, and that's just due to the nature of how options work. But anyway, going back to the last split. Now, I'm not saying Tesla is quite as prime for a big run right now as they were back then, but we can see when the split was announced, actually, I think it may have been closer to this mark here. But when the split was announced, they went on a decent run, and it lasted several days, right? So it wasn't just a one-day jump and then we're done. We had from, say, the 11th until about the 30th. So really about 2 weeks of time where we had good returns. Now, obviously, these past results do not guarantee anything right now. That's just a little anecdote of what did happen last time. It doesn't guarantee anything. I'm not saying, like, you know, this trade is 100% by any means, but I'm thinking I can hold off on selling a little while longer and try to get a bit of a better return. I never want to get too greedy on these trades. You're never going to time it perfectly right at the top. So, you know, Generally, as long as you make some money, you can be happy. But trying to time it absolutely perfectly at the very top is it's a very difficult game. So, even if I got out a little early and we run a bit more, but I take my money and it's safe and I take it to the bank, I'll be happy with that. So I'll be watching this stock very closely the next few days. We head over to the chart now. This is a 3-month chart on Tesla today. So the split was announced today. We were trading about here, and you could see we've opened about here. So that was a decent bounce, but we're still well off the all-time highs, which are probably up here around 1,200, which is coincidentally the strike price for my option. And we still have, to the end of the year. So I'm going to let this run for a little while longer. I don't necessarily need to let it break through 1,200. I probably won't try to leave it for that to happen. Interesting time for Tesla. They did just open Giga Berlin, their new factory. Giga Austin is due to open very soon as well. So those are two tailwinds or bullish things for the company. However, there is a COVID outbreak in Shanghai, which is where their biggest current factory is, and it's a real cash cow for the company. And they're going to have to shut down production for 4 days. So that's unfortunate for the company, and could be a headwind. I know it's short term, but it could impact the stock. And with a volatile stock like Tesla, who knows? So I'm going to watch for a few days. I'm hoping we can hit maybe 1150 or so. See how this goes. I'll try to get out in the next week or two for sure, and take my profits. Now, that's not to say I'm not bullish on Tesla on the long term. I still do own a lot of underlying stock in the company, but this was just always a short term play. It's not; these options aren't my core portfolio. There's things I like to do for fun and to try to make some extra cash in my tax-free savings account, which is another benefit of doing it in that account, is I won't have to pay any taxes on these returns. So let me know how you're playing this news. If you're in any Tesla options or just holding the stock, I'll be sure to let you guys know when I exit this trade, how it turned out. And thanks for watching. Please do like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. See ya.